I will be back shortly. Well, good morning, Platinum Top 50. I hope you enjoyed that song. True to Platinum Top 50 form, we always like to start our events with some fun music, and this being no different. So welcome to our first ever 15 by 30 partner edition. All right, so quick overview, 15 by 30. If you've never been, we have had this event for the last 3 years in San Antonio down at the Pearl, and it was always agents who were giving the presentations. And it was so fun. The presentations are, as you may know, 15 slides that are going to auto advance every 30 seconds. So what that means is every presentation is 7.5 minutes from start to finish, can't run over, can't run under. It also means that our presenters do not have control of their slides. We will be advancing those for them every 30 seconds. So it creates kind of a situation where sometimes you may overtalk a slide or undertalk, but it's a great way to receive information, share information. It almost puts them into a storytelling mode. And if anyone out there is a visual learner like I am, then this is for you, because every 30 seconds you've got something new to look at. So that's a little bit about the format. And you know why we're doing this? Well, we know that our partners are a wealth of information in their own right. CEOs, executives, visionaries, entrepreneurs. They're great leaders in their business. They're great business professionals. And so we wanted them to be able to share with you, our agent audience, in the same way that the agent audience has been able to share in the last couple of years. So we know this format is fun, we know it works, and we're really excited to be bringing it to you in your homes, your offices, your cars, wherever you're at this morning. We thank you for being with us, and we're excited to present this to you later on. You know, at the end of the day, this is what Platinum Top 50 is here to do. We're here to make meaningful connections in real estate. We are here to bring parties together, to learn, to network, to share, to strengthen those relationships within our local industry community. And that's what we're doing. So thank y'all so much. Let me run through a little bit of, if you will, housekeeping. So I just want to show you what's going to be the best way for you to view this presentation. So if you will, you can see this little demo. If you want to take your cursor and scroll over at the top of your screen, you'll find something that says View Options. Okay, so click on View Options. Give you a minute to do that, View Options. And then we like the Fit to Window for that box to be checked. That might be automatic for you. But then go down to the bottom where it says Side-by-Side Mode. And so what that's going to allow is, as the presentations are going, your screen will be split, half of the presenter, half of the slide. And so we thought that was a great way to help you view this presentation online. So a little bit of housekeeping. And lastly, you know, we recently had a big member survey. Thank you to everyone who completed it. 70% of our respondents said they would love to continue this online events after the pandemic. So this kind of format isn't going anywhere. We certainly can't wait to see you back offline, but this seems to be working for us as well. So, all right, here we go. Let's see. Y'all ready for our first presenter? I am going to read a little bit about. So we are going to hear presentations from all of these wonderful businesses: Esperanza and Bernie, Independence Title, Legacy Mutual Mortgage, Chicago Title, Reaching Neighbors, Mortgage Financial Services, Sextonaries with Goosehead Insurance, and Traditions Interiors Home Staging. And we thank these partners for the time that they spent in preparing for this. They really put a lot of thought behind the question of, what can I teach? What can I share? What am I comfortable talking about? What is it that the agents would want to hear from me? So we thank all the partners for the time that they put in preparing for this. And speaking of partners, we are ready to get underway with our first one. So let me read you a little bit about, I'm sure most of y'all know, Tom Romanello, Senior Vice President and Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. His presentation is titled The Good, Bad, and Ugly on Client Interaction. So excited to hear that. So as you know, nurturing client relationships can lead to loyal clients and in turn increased sales. Tom brings more than 24 experience of excellent customer service to his clients. He's assisted over 1,500 families in San Antonio area to obtain their dream of home ownership. And this morning he's bringing us his testimony and experience with client interactions. All right, Tom, I know you're ready. I'm ready. So let's go ahead. We're going to bring Tom up. He's going to say hit it, and we'll get started with our first 15 by 30 presentation.
Go ahead and hit it. Thank you. Thanks for having me here. I really appreciate it, and appreciate you guys giving me the most valuable resource you have, which is your time. So thank you so much. Ryan Avery is an awesome presenter. He actually talks about many, many things, but we're going to talk about words that we really should delete when we're dealing with actually everybody in our circle of influence and our clients. So Ryan is an international speaker, and I think you'll take some of these words and you will use them or not use them in the future. So here we go. Couple of words you want to delete. Number one, the word we. Of course, who are you talking about when you say we? Who is we? You should really, in place of we, use your company name or use yourself. So I, or Legacy Mutual Mortgage. So when you talk about that, you're really talking about someone specific. Just and only, these words destroy our confidence. We can't maximize our influence when we minimize ourselves. So stop using just and only. Minimizes everything you say ahead of time. Think. I think we should be partners. I think I like to do this. You know, why say think when you should know? Okay. Always use we should do this, or I know we should do this, and get the word think out of your vocabulary. Kind of sure, that means you're unsure of what you're talking about. Utilize the word absolutely, or yes, or no, and then give your reasoning on a regular basis. Be very sure of yourself. Honestly, in any way. Well, if I use the word honestly, that pretty much tells you that everything I said prior to that is probably a lie. So if you stop using the word honestly, that will definitely help. It will make the rest of your information more credible. And anyway, well, anyway, stop using that. Doesn't really matter. But and ands, and watch many of those words. Remember, it's not about the attention as the leader. You care about any action that you're going to have. If this lets them have an out, if you have time to meet me, if you can do this for me, it should be used as when. When do you have time to meet with me? Where can you change the if to when? And then help. We always talk about helping our clients, helping other people. But what we really do is we work with our clients in order for a solution. So don't say the word help our clients. Use the word work with your clients, and I think you'll be more successful. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Leads. Right now, it's very, very an active marketplace that we're in right now, and you're going to have all kinds of leads out there. You're going to need to really assimilate what kind of leads you have. You're going to have good leads, bad leads, and ugly leads. We all love the good leads. The bad leads are pretty quick, but the ugly leads will waste a lot of your time. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. What is a good lead? Your business has funnels. The good leads, easy pass through quickly. The bad leads, they take much more time, struggle, and they're difficult. The ugly leads, they will clog up your funnel on a regular basis. They will hurt your business on a regular basis and on a personal level. They'll be the people that you regret working with on a regular basis. So we wanted to help you close more deals. So let's work with more of the good leads. Quick exercise. Imagine a perfect client. What are the top 5 qualities about a client that you can think of? When you think of how clients are actually introduced to you, when you think about the outcome after you speak to the client? What are the different qualities about the client that you like, dislike, and would like more of? So imagine your perfect client and try to make all the perfect clients. What is a good lead? Those are people who are going to be introduced to you or referred to you the right way. Always like to use the word introduced. Those people that appreciate the way you operate, they trust any process that you have, and they actually qualify to purchase a home, sell a home in the future or now. So 33% of all your leads should be good leads. They should have those three qualities. What's a bad lead? Well, a bad lead is someone who is not in a position at this time or never will be in a position to work with you. Don't let these people consume much of your time, but you do need to help them. Identify if a client does not qualify, does not want to buy or sell right now. Make sure that they're in a position to buy in the future and they feel cared for. Walk away with the ball in their court, but also create finality. Don't let them hang. What's an ugly lead? These are the ones we regret. There's no doubt. There is no problem with an ugly lead qualifying. Most ugly leads, in fact, almost all ugly leads do qualify, but they are either not referred the right way, i.e. not introduced the right way, or they do not appreciate how you operate or trust the process. They are what I call time suckers. They're going to want you to jump through hoops, jump over bridges, in order to give them what they want, and then they'll leave you. So what's your non-negotiables? Do they need to be qualified? Of course they do. A client wants you to drive them around on a Saturday because they know exactly what they want and are ready and seriously to buy. Then find out they won't qualify. Well, when will you meet with your client? Think about that. The client that you meet at 8 p.m., not because they need to, because they want to. And where will you go for your client? Client's renting in Denver, but a property in Fort Worth or Fort Collins. That's a long way away, guys. How do you deal with your ugly leads? Well, the easiest way is a high barrier of entry. A firm set of standards, i.e. non-negotiables, for your ideal personal business, which only allows for clients who will work within your non-negotiables and keep out those clients who will not, i.e. time frame. They have to have a good time frame, motivation. They got to be committed. And also think about your geographic restrictions. And also, do they have the money? You should control your leads. We use a lead tracker. We teach the lead tracker. We use different colors for the lead tracker. So when we have a lead come in, it either goes to green, red, yellow, orange, or purple. Green means the communication is going on. We have an appointment with them. A red lead is a dead lead. They can never purchase. Yellow, haven't heard back from. Orange, under contract, and purple, they are pre-approved and they're ready to go. So this helps you very quickly. Your ideal business funnel, well, good lead, focus your efforts on your good leads. Referred the right way, plan your rules, play by your rules, and qualify. Bad leads, end your non-qualifiers quickly, professionally, and feeling cared for. Don't waste your time. Ugly leads, don't break your non-negotiables. They are non-negotiables for a reason. If they don't play by your rules, they don't play at all. This will help you close more deals in the long run. Thank you so much.
Tom, that was awesome. I filled up a page of notes already. And that's only the first presentation. So fantastic information, whether you're in lending, you're in my business, in real estate, applicable to all. Thank you so much for sharing. You nailed that presentation. Awesome, awesome content. All right, let's keep this ball rolling. As you can see, next up for me is Denise Brown. Denise is the Vice President and Director of Business Development at Independence Title. And her presentation is Speak Easy, a formula for public speaking. Public speaking is a form of connection and allows us the ability to motivate change our daily lives. We can all use some tips for making our communication smoother. And Denise is going to tell us how we can continuously interact with a variety of peers to meet the needs of others. With a background in public education and a passion for learning that helps, Denise hopes that all in the real estate industry have the chance to experience the independence title difference. All right, Denise, you're in the hot seat. You're up next.
Okay, let's do it. The term speakeasy is a reference to an illegal drinking den or nightclub that sold alcohol during the Prohibition era of the 1920s. You had to have a password for admittance. Now, before you get too excited thinking that I'm going to talk about all the bars and entertainment venues opening in San Antonio, that's not my topic. Sorry. I'm Denise Brown, Director of Business Development for Independence Title Company, and my goal is to help you increase your business by giving you a password to effective public speaking. William Shakespeare once said, "All the world's a stage. How well will you play your part?" As businessmen and women, we're constantly on stage. We're constantly presenting. We're in front of an audience, whether it's our team, it's buyers or sellers at a listing appointment or a virtual open house. Those of us who utilize our stage effectively have the ability to build our brand and to influence others for the good. Before I give you the formula, let's talk about some facts related to what is technically known as glossophobia, the fear of public speaking. This is the leading social phobia in America. It can result in a 10% impairment on wages and a 15% impairment on promotability. Contrary, though, to what Jerry Seinfeld led us to believe, it's not 75% of people who have it, but about 45% of professionals have this fear. Now, here's the magic formula. If you get nothing else out of this presentation, take a picture of this slide, because if you learn these 6 steps, you will be able to speak easy. I'm going to read them and then break them down. Step 1 is consider your audience and purpose. Then identify your key points. Then create a catchy opener and a strong conclusion. Think about accordion scheduling, embellishing or deleting, and then practice. The most important part is the audience. Think about to whom you're speaking, why they're here, and what they want to hear from you. It's not about you as the speaker. It's about bringing value and passion to those who have come to listen to your presentation. Once you're clear on your audience, think about the purpose. What can you give them that they can take away and benefit from? And how much time do you have? Next, come up with your key points. We've been conditioned since elementary school to think in terms of 3 to 5 key points. That works. There's nothing magic, though, about that number. It's more about thinking about the points and leading your audience through those in an organized way. And don't panic, but good speakers don't write out their speech. They write down the key points and then talk about them. Because if you write it out, you tend to read it and you don't connect. Once you know your key points, then you think about your introduction. And just as buyers determine whether they like a house or not within the first 7 seconds, your audience determines whether they're engaged or not within the first 7 seconds. So to engage them, here's how you create a good intro. Come up with a hook, something catchy to get their attention. Then introduce yourself, your name, and what gives you credibility, and then state your purpose, ideally in 5 words or fewer. Some good hooks, since this is the most important part, include stories. Everybody loves a success story, and we all can relate to a failure story. So have some stories ready to use to connect to your topic. Statistics and facts are also good ways to start a presentation because people want to hear those, especially facts about our market. Quotes, people love quotes, and questions engage the audience. Once you've got your introduction down, then plan a conclusion that connects to that introduction. That is, as humans, we like a circular nature. So if you started by telling a story, at the end of your presentation, take me back to that story. If you started with a quote, return to the quote. I started with the definition of speakeasy. I'll come back to it at the end. And then call us to action. What do you want us to do? I usually want you to close with Independence Title. The next step in the formula is to practice. Malcolm Gladwell says that it takes roughly 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to achieve mastery in a field. Good speakers practice speaking. A few quick tips as you practice: use transition words, first, second, third. Those help your audience follow along. Use accordion scheduling, embellish or constrict based upon the time. Bring the energy to everything you do. Not sure if my presentation is still going or not. Okay, here we go again. Are we there? Please take note of this. Most people get really worried about the words of a presentation, but in actuality, only 7% of your message is the spoken word. What people really connect to is what you're doing with your tone of voice, your facial expression, and what your body does. So if your face and voice say that you're enjoying yourself and you've got passion for what you feel, the words sort of take care of themselves. Okay? I want to give you a few tips on live presentations. This is a picture of what we call speaker stance. So much of your message is about your body. So if you stand up and put one foot slightly in front of the other, it helps you control your body. Hold your head up, look at your audience, and use your hands to give emphasis to key points. Walk forward to connect to your audience instead of walking backward, which says, I'm afraid. In today's world, we do a lot of virtual presentations. So a few quick tips there. Look at the camera, not at all the different people that you see on the screen. If you're looking at the camera, people think you're talking directly to them. Take a selfie to see what you look like, because you want to look your best. Consider your clothing, consider your lighting, consider everything going on around you, noise, everything that might come in and interrupt. And just a quick tip, put your light behind your computer. All of you are used to hearing me talk about Independence Title. I talk about my company quite often, and I use this formula. I begin by thinking about my audience and purpose, always to ask you to close with us. Then I come up with my key points, then my introduction and my conclusion, and then I practice, practice, practice. Because if you can speak, you can influence. And if you can influence, you can change lives. I want to end with this photo of my family. They are my why for everything I do, and some words from a poem that my daughter wrote me for Mother's Day. Kirby said, Mom, you once wrote that you have a belief in yourself which you hope to pass down to your children. I hope that you can see that your colors have in fact been passed down to me. I hope that you can have a belief in yourself, that you can stand in front of a room and speak in public. I've given you the password to speak easy. Now do it and change the world.
Denise, that was awesome. And in my notes, my hook at Platinum Top 50 events is always, how's everybody doing? I can't hear you. How's everybody doing? To get their attention. And also I'm going to look in the camera so you know I'm speaking to you and say that slide jump there was mine. I was trying to change my view and accidentally messed with the formula. So no more touching my computer. I'm just going to do the talking from this point out. Awesome presentation, Denise. Thank you so much for Independence Title, your partnership with Platinum Top 50. Loved that presentation. Quick note to our audience, since you know and work with a lot of our presenters, at the bottom of your screen is a chat bubble, and you can use that to send them a private message. So what a great way to let them know that you loved their presentation. Glad to hear from them. Again, just another neat feature of how you can communicate in the back end of this online format. So be sure to send them your shout outs. Okay, Brenda Stewart founded her direct mail company, Reaching Neighbors, almost 20 years ago. Reaching Neighbors works with over 500 clients across the country to execute direct mail campaigns that deliver results. One of Brenda's passions is business processes and efficiency. As a result, she has been able to consistently grow her business by carefully documenting these processes and systems. Today, she will share her tried and true ideas and methodology, that can help any size business to scale. And I just want to say personally, Brenda is working with Platinum Top 50, our leadership team, on our processes and systems. I have learned so much from her just in a short amount of time, and know that you will do the same. So, all right, Brenda, you're up.
All right, let's go. How's everybody? This is one of my favorite quotes. We're continually faced by great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems. The great Lee Iacocca, who is credited with leading Chrysler out of their slump, said this, and it just rings so true. We as small business owners are always faced with obstacles, and we're pros at getting through them. There's just so much going on in our country. I believe we are the answer. So that's a bonus. I'm Brenda Stewart with Reaching Neighbors. I've had usually come in here and talk to you for the last 20 years about direct mail programs. But today I want to talk to you a little bit about processes and systems that run in the background that will help your business scale. I'm going to share just some top line actionable steps with you on how to get your business automated and running consistently. So what qualifies me to do this? It's in my blood. When I was 14 years old, my dad had an electrical contracting business, and he put me in front of the first Radio Shack computer, and I got to set up his inventory and manage it and manage his warehouse. I actually created the first system, so to speak, for him, and it freed him up to go out and bid on more jobs. At the end of the summer, it was really easy for somebody to step in and take over what I had started. So that's how I got started. In 2008, when the market crashed, we lost about 40% of our revenue and had to downsize from a team of 8 to just 3. It was one of those brilliant opportunities disguised as a problem. I focused on our systems and our process, and with that foundation in place, in the last 4 years, we've grown 140% with fewer employees. And we credit that to all of our systems that we put in place. John Maxwell said, it doesn't matter how talented you are, it doesn't matter how many opportunities you get. If you want to grow, consistency is the key. It establishes your reputation, it provides accountability, it makes you relevant and keeps you remembered. And if you really think about it, any issues that you have or problems that come up all tie back to consistency. So that's important. Several years ago, I hired a really expensive consultant because I kept hearing Salesforce was the way to go. After 18 months with them and a boatload of money, I threw in the towel because it just was an epic failure. And I realized that he didn't understand what we did from the very beginning. So how do you get a CRM, which we all hear about, to do your heavy lifting? I'm going to give you a few steps here in the next slides of what has to happen first. First, you need to understand that there's a difference between systems and processes, and you need to list those out. Your system is the what, and the process is the how. So if I talk about my graphic design process here, the process is gathering photos, logos, taglines, contact information, and the systems we use to do that are email, Dropbox, Adobe Creative Suite, or our CRM. And so you need that distinction and to be able to list them out. Next, you're going to create a value stream map. Although it wasn't called that back in the day, this was what made Toyota's manufacturing process a phenomenon. And really the important part for them is what makes a happy customer. And then they work backwards through all of their processes and systems that help them get there. And it's a very top line map just to show how you deliver value to your customer from start to finish. And so this is what Reaching Neighbors value stream map looks like. We start with the happy customer on the end, we work with results, delivery, graphic design, mail list, all the way back. Our customers don't care about the detail underneath each one of these value modules, so to speak. So you don't care what we do with the mail list when we get it in. You care that we get your right mail piece to your right list on time and on budget. The next thing that you need to do is, and this is kind of the next level down, is for your leadership team to meet and identify and agree on the details of the core processes that make your business work. Most businesses only have 6 or 7 of them, and then some of them, like ops for us, have several sub-processes in there. But if everybody's not on board calling everything the same thing in an agreement, then you got to keep staying in this step till you get there. Once you all agree on your core processes, then it's time for you to document each process. And the rule is that the owner of the process documents the process. For accounting, for instance, our bookkeeper listed all our top line processes. She detailed the steps for, again, the top, we stick to the 80-20 rule, so the top 20% of the tasks, and then all the templates she uses, and we have a video library to match this. Finally, get a process map together. This is your graphic of how stuff gets done in your company. If I had this process map in place and been able to sit down with my Salesforce developers, and them clearly understand what this was, Salesforce would be running my business right now. So I scrapped them, did it myself, and actually it made setting up our Zoho CRM pretty easy. Finally, once you have all this together, you package it up and put your name on it. When you get this done, you're going to be poised to achieve stronger results with a lot less effort. Your business is going to be less dependent on heroes, those great rock star employees that you have. Your onboarding is going to be easier. You're going to be able to scale. And more important, measuring and refining your process to become more efficient and deliver consistency is going to be easy. Last year, our team of 6 people executed 6,200 direct mail campaigns for 581 clients. Without this foundation in place, we would have needed at least 4 times the number of employees to execute. But more importantly, our customer service is getting more and more consistent. We're not perfect, but when we have an issue, it's really easy to go in and pinpoint in the process, apply some measurements, and fix it. If you don't already have this foundation in place, I would encourage you to dedicate a few hours a week to doing this for your company. We are working on a webinar series to help companies map your process. If you are interested, you can hit our website and there's a tab called Process. Go in there and fill out that form. And as always, if you need great direct mail campaigns that deliver results, hit us up. We're glad to help. Thank you.
Awesome, Brenda. And for our audience, like the aha moment that went off for me, I had always mushed systems and processes together as if they were one. And at one time when Brenda made the statement to me in a private conversation that they were 2 separate, she had a process map and then a system that supported that map. It changed my perspective on the whole concept. They're not the same thing, they're different. And she's helping us to differentiate between the 2. So awesome presentation, Brenda. Okay, Brandon Blake. Here we go. In 2019, Brandon Blake took ownership of Traditions Interiors Home Staging, making the bold move from a career in IT to business owner. Brandon knows firsthand about leveraging prior experience to help build a better future. He has stayed true to the legacy Tradition was founded on in 2008 and continues to lead a solid team and grow the footprint. Traditions is one of a few staging companies with inventory to cover 100 fully furnished homes. They have focused on a streamlined turnkey process and service that makes selling homes faster and easier for realtors, builders, and independent staging professionals. Brandon's presentation is titled Make Bold Moves, the World Needs You. I cannot wait to hear this from you, Brandon. I'm turning it to you, so take it away.
All right, thank you. It's good to be here. Hey, let's start. All right, so make bold moves. The world needs you. To begin, I feel that now more than ever, the world needs your voice. There's a palpable ache right now in the world for strong, ethical leadership. And while the examples that I'm using here today are people that inspire me, I encourage you to find people that inspire you. And even more so, encourage you to find people that encourage you to act and be a strong voice in the world. So in my late 20s, I was the man, or at least I thought I was. Really, I was a big fish in a very, very little pond. Then as I had kids, my bills grew. My decisions were more influenced by fear than anything else. Sure, I called it data and statistics, but those things merely justified my own fears. I was playing it safe. It showed. My finances were shrinking. My waistline was growing. My connections with my wife and kids were growing cold. In short, life sucked. But you know, I felt this tug towards impossible, a tug towards a life not ruled by fear, not ruled by data, but a life ruled by faith, a life ruled by bold moves combined with all out massive action. I got a picture of a hand in a dark room. I couldn't see anything other than the hand, obviously. I couldn't see where I was going, but I had this feeling that if I followed, we were headed to good places. See, I firmly believe that all it takes for success is 4 things. Be true to yourself, number 1. Number 2, a tolerance for risk. Number 3, have the vision to see open doors. Number 4, have the faith to say yes when opportunities come up. And oh yeah, maybe just a little bit of stupidity. Because, you know, at one point, the world thought that Amazon was a stupid idea, right? Warren Buffett said, you don't want to give Amazon a 7-year head start, and regretted not being an early buyer. How many industries, plural, has Amazon transformed now? Books, shipping, video on demand, even some industries that most people don't know about, like web services. Amazon Web Services hosts over 10 times more sites than the next 14 competitors added together. So stupid idea turned out to, you know, Amazon today. So number 1, be true to yourself. What do you offer this world? I offer an insane amount of energy, a genuine love for people, and a brain that can prioritize and execute in almost any situation. And I own it. Steve Jobs wanted to create the best and most user-friendly electronics. Definitely not the cheapest, right? And that was at odds with Apple for a long time. But who are you? What makes you unique? The world needs the you, and you have an audience. Next is a tolerance for risk. And I love this photo because this shows a live demo, which is always a risk, that went wrong. None of us are strangers to risk. The fact that you're here right now shows that at some point you took a big risk. But continued growth takes continued risk, right? So Elon Musk built and sold PayPal, right? PayPal. You find different numbers, different places, but generally most people think he made about 165 million from the sale of PayPal. 165 million is an absolutely life-changing amount of money. He could have lived a lavish lifestyle on a private island for the rest of his life, but his vision was bigger. He invested 90 million into SpaceX, 70 million into Tesla, and around 5 million into Solar City. And this slide kind of combines them all. He's widely quoted as being cash poor, but that's just because of his aggressive risk and investment in all of our futures. I don't know if you caught the news in the last couple of weeks, but he just hit the first of a few hurdles in his Tesla compensation plan, a plan that most people thought was absolutely impossible. And while his bonus is in stock, it's worth about $770 million. So that's kind of a risk, 70 million into Tesla and a $770 million payout. So what's the thing that gives you butterflies that you've put on the back burner? The vision to see open doors. This guy, he inspires me every single day. It's one of my favorites, Sir Richard Branson. He's made a reputation for doing things and making successful opportunities out of things that other people passed on, like the Rolling Stones, like Janet Jackson. you know how Virgin Airlines started? I don't know if you've heard this story, but his flight got canceled. I mean, think about that for a second. A bad day for you or me was his next great opportunity. You know, he chartered a plane and then he went around the boarding area of his canceled flight selling tickets on that plane. From there, he recognized that while most airlines were cutting costs and using data to dictate profits, he could sell a premium product to people who simply wanted a comfortable and on-time flight, didn't really care what it cost. You know, a lot of times vision looks like a benign, you know, what's stopping us conversation, or it feels like butterflies in your stomach. It could be a random Sunday afternoon conversation that sparks an idea and turns into your next great opportunity. Or it could look like an unfortunate event or series of unfortunate events that reveal something about the needs of mankind. And success typically follows the solution. And then the faith to say yes. My wife and I risked absolutely everything to buy Traditions Interiors. And I think we skipped a few slides here. I don't know if we can go back to the Joker. Or I can keep going.
Keep going. Let's just keep this moving.
All right. So my wife and I risked everything.
Here we go.
Yeah, Joker. There we go.
All right.
Okay, so it's something in the automation, but it doesn't matter. My wife and I risked everything to buy Traditions Interiors. And when we were first presented with the idea, I didn't feel qualified, but you know, we felt ready. And I think that feeling of readiness was a faith in something bigger than ourselves. Somebody who saw us as ready, a faith that said, I'll go where you go, I'll do what you do, to partner with something impossible and maybe a little bit crazy. And that's actually at the core ethos of our company. We always say yes. The core ethos is the engine behind that flexibility that our clients have come to expect and allows us to stumble into accidental opportunities along the way. You know, it doesn't always have to make sense, but the faith to say yes combined with all out massive action usually leads to success. And finally, maybe a little bit of stupidity. I say that with a heavy dose of sarcasm, but to the fearful, and you can go to the next slide, to the fearful, risk looks stupid. But if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? And so I want to leave you with two things. Isaiah 55, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are different from yours. As high as the heavens are above the earth, so my ways and thoughts are higher than yours. And Romans 8, the entire universe is standing on tiptoe, yearning to see the unveiling of God's glorious sons and daughters. Literally, the world right now is aching for strong leadership, for bold leadership. So go do big things. The world needs you. Go get it.
Brandon, I appreciate your presentation, and you gave us the title of this weeks ago. So the timing of it right now is poignant, I believe, and I am so grateful also that you were bold enough to weave your faith into this program. That takes a bold move right there, and it's something that I appreciate, and I know our audience does, and it's just a testament to who you are. So even being comfortable enough to bring your faith into a workplace environment is a bold move, and it speaks to your character, and I'm so grateful for your presentation and your partnership with Platinum Top 50. I love it. Okay, these are so exciting. My friend Polly Keene. Okay, now more than ever, we are relying on social media to reach our intended audience. So true. Pandemic has shot social engagement up the roof. Polly joined Chicago Title in 2012 and serves as the Director of Business Development and Marketing. She leads a passionate and proactive group of business development executives. Polly's experience lends us to discover 15 ways to re-engage our social media audience. These proven tactics can help set yourself apart in a sea of endless information competing for the viewer's attention. Once you have a captive audience, meaningful conversation can happen and leads to long-lasting partnerships. Polly, I am excited to hear this. I need to learn a lot of this from you. So without further ado, take it away, my friend. Oh, there we go. Unmute.
Okay.
Y'all can go ahead and start my slides. Thanks, Amber. Good morning, I'm Polly Keene with Chicago Title, and I'm super excited to share with you how to re-engage with your audience. My first tip is my favorite all time: less contenting and more commenting. Become a super fan on your clients' pages. Engage with your sphere of influence on social media through their posts, stories, and like and comment on them. Build your brand without creating content. Comments are the new content. Notifications are free repeat branding. The more we support others, the better score we get on our algorithm. Create friend lists on Facebook. You have to create this on your computer on facebook.com. It's not accessible on your phone. When you add people to the list, they have no idea they've been added to this list. This list is for you. It can replace your feed with posts from your friends that are on that list. So it allows you to efficiently like and comment on targeted people and be more strategic with your interactions. A few list ideas are past clients, neighborhoods, top clients, past coworkers, alumni, and friends. Do not share articles on your social media. Facebook and Instagram algorithms do not like links. Link sharing will decrease your algorithm score and in turn can decrease your reach. Instead, create a quick video with a takeaway or synopsis of your article. Reference the article in your video and drop the link for the article in your comments below. Don't forget to include your call to action, such as share your thoughts in the comments below. If you've shared an article on top travel destinations, ask where will you travel next? Or what's your favorite destination? Post based on the 5 E's: education, entertainment, exclusivity, engagement, and emotion. Education, answer common questions in your industry. This helps establish you as an expert when potential clients are researching you. Entertainment, share funny stories about your children, a flat tire you had, funny memes. Exclusivity, show the behind the scenes of your life. Let people into your world. Engagement, ask a question on social media. Emotion, talk about relatable human things, the wins we have, the struggles, something that moved you, a movie that touched you. Direct messages, direct message at least 5 people per day. Make your connections more personal. Your message does not have to be business or real estate related. Check in on them, ask how they're doing, DM them about one of their stories or posts, remind them of a funny time you shared with them. Be a better community member. The better community member you are, the better your algorithm score is, and the more platforms will push out your posts and further your reach. This one's my favorite all-time method. It's called the 10-10-10 method. You time block 10 minutes of your day, and then you comment on 10 posts down your feed and 10 posts across your story. You should time block for both Instagram and Facebook and any other social media platforms you're using. Time block 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the afternoon. If you want more strategic interactions, use your list you've created for your targeted groups. Make better videos. Make eye contact with your audience by looking through the camera. Prepare, don't script. We want to hear from people, not robots. Have a post-it with notes for your main topics. Smile. We want to see happy people. It will elevate your energy of your video. Show your hands. Movement helps the brain stay engaged. Slightly adjust your head throughout your video. Facebook is looking for longer videos, 3 minutes or longer in the first minute of watch time. Who, what, why, and what next. Introduce yourself, what you're going to talk about, why it's important to the person watching, and what next is the call to action. Instagram stories are the best way to build your brand. Show your face. Your audience needs to connect your face to your brand. Stories are message-enabled, private, one-to-one communication. 280,000 Instagram stories are posted every minute of every day compared to 50,000 posts in the feed. Add text or context about the video, a call to action, vary your context, add locations, hashtags, use engagement stickers. Canva is my favorite tool to create stories. It is a graphic design platform and it's free. Canva creates, you can create templates and add your branding and information. A great template for y'all would be just listed, just sold, templates for polls or questions. Copy your template, upload your photo or verbiage, and then you just upload it onto social media. These templates help you stand out in the story feed and create visual interest. I have the pro version and it's $10 a month and totally worth it. Post stories throughout the day. This builds consistency and the frequency builds trust. Stories are intended to mimic your day. Show the real you in your stories. Be authentic. Give them an inside look into your life. How many stories are too many? Social Insider IO says 6 is the magic number. People start dropping off after 6 stories. So post anywhere between 3 and 6 times a day to help increase your brand recognition. Use captions on all of your videos. Studies have shown 85% of Instagram users watch videos with no sound. Use a tool like Rev or Timmy.com. They charge per minute or per word for your video, but it's totally worth it. My next slide's really long, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into it. Live videos and recorded videos are still the best performing posts on social media. You should shoot all of your videos vertically. Your videos will post larger in the feed than a horizontal video. Remember, lighting is important. You don't need to go out and buy a light ring immediately, but shoot by a window or outside and then invest in a light ring when you're ready. Edit your videos. Use Video Shop or a similar editing app. You'll want to buy the premium version of this to be able to add text, picture-in-a-picture, and lighten and brighten your videos. Add a cover photo to your video with a catchy title. Let people know what you're going to share with them. Utilize tools on social media like location tags, hashtags, stickers, and mentions. Write captions that convert. When you add 300 or word more captions, your video will get better engagement. There are 3 keys to great captions. Hook and headline. Include something exciting, a question. Captions with numbers perform well. Example, 5 reasons to sell your home now. Use an app for formatting. Appsforlifehost.com looks sketchy, but it's legit. Don't forget your call to action. Click the link in the bio, save the post, comment below. Create a hashtag strategy. They increase discoverability and potential lead generation. Create a hashtag set of 20 to 30 relevant hashtags of different sizes to save on your phone in notes to easily copy and paste into your captions. Layer the sizes of hashtags. 3 to 5 with 1 to 1.5 million uses, 5 to 7 with 6-figure uses, 5 to 7 with 5-figure uses, 3 to 7 with 4-figure uses. You don't want to use hashtags with over 1.5 million uses as they'll get buried in the feed. Oops. Did it start again?
Hi.
Okay, and then update your name on your Instagram. They've just changed this. So the name field now shows your name. So if you had any keywords in there in those fields, those will show not your actual name. Your name or business is much more identifiable in your direct messages. So make sure that you update that because that's what they'll see is your name, not your username now. I know this was fast and furious, so if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out to myself or anyone on our sales team, and we'd love to help you re-engage with your social media audience.
Holly, it is no surprise why your title includes Director of Business Development and Marketing, because marketing, that was spot on information. JR Troy just commented he took a page full of notes, as did I. So I thank you for sharing that with us and just appreciate your partnership as well. And super, super awesome content. I loved it. Thank you. Okay, we've got, let's see, 3 more. Gosh, I wish we had more. This is so awesome. Okay, as a mortgage professional with over 22 years in the industry, John Hudson will motivate us to continue striving for growth. His unique experience on both the operational and sales side of the business will provide insight on ways to achieve your best. John's focus in the mortgage area includes utilizing his talents, expertise, experience, and leadership and vision to build the best company. So as Vice President of Production for Mortgage Financial Services, John Hudson, my friend, it's your turn to take it away.
Awesome, Amber. Hello, everybody. Well, hey, let's kick this off. I know we're short on time, so let's just run right into it. All right. So I'm John Hudson, and I'm on the executive team here at Mortgage Financial Services. And the first thing I really have to say is that I'm blessed and honored to be here with you today. And just for those of you that don't know who I am, I think it's important to know where I come from. I am a San Antonio native. I live in the same neighborhood I grew up in, and right out my office window is my old high school. But more importantly, I'm a passionate mortgage geek. I'm all about helping families generate wealth by owning real estate. I've read the entire Dodd-Frank law. I've testified to Congress on mortgage regulations, and I could count the times that I've been to DC. But I'm here to talk today about achieving massive growth during insane times. Just like today, here we are in a global pandemic, a recession, political turmoil, and civic unrest. And some people might look at them as excuses for not growing. But a mastermind group that I've just concluded read an amazing book that was absolutely perfect for where we are today. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. First, I'm going to start out by wishing my teammates and I a happy birthday. You see, I can speak about growth. For on June 1 of 2015, Mortgage Financial Services had one office with 8 employees. And here we are today with 17 offices in 6 states, almost 200 employees, and we're pending approval in 10 other states. So let's be honest about growing a business. There's plenty of blood, sweat, tears, sleepless nights, stress, and a list of obstacles can go on and on. Whatever we face, we have a choice. Ask yourself this question: will we be blocked or will we advance? I'm very proud of the accomplishments and growth that we've accomplished. But number one, I mean, we've made the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing private companies each year since 2016. And 5 will get you 10 that will be on the 2020 list too. But in hindsight, I'm even more proud of the accomplishments when you factor in all the obstacles we faced. In 2016, we had TRID. In 2018, we faced serious margin compression. And here we are today, hopefully coming out of a global pandemic. All this piled up with the demanding complexities of the mortgage industry and plenty of haters saying not so many nice things. You see, in order to grow in anything you do, be it personal or business, it's imperative to control your emotions. People make bad decisions when they panic. Just think about the great toilet paper shortage a couple months ago. I kid about that, but in all seriousness, you must always keep your head together. If you don't, you will make poor choices, you'll deviate from your plans, obstacles will make you emotional, but the only way you survive them or overcome them is to keep your emotions in check. Keep your head while all about you are losing theirs, especially if they're blaming you. It's also imperative to focus on living in the present moment. Focus on the tasks at hand, the projects you know you must complete, the rituals you need for success. You know what you have to do. You know you have made mistakes in the past, so don't dwell on them. Hopefully you've learned from them and can move on. If you worry about the future obstacles, you might get paralyzed with fear and become stagnant. It's simple to just say you'll live in the present, but it's not easy to do. You have to work at it. It takes discipline. Remember, this moment is not your life. It's just a moment in your life. You see, problems are never as bad as we think, or rather, they're exactly as bad as we think. But that is our choice to make. And I'm not saying you have to be positive during challenging times, but you must stay optimistic. What is worse, the obstacle or obstacle plus losing your head? It is absolutely imperative to manage your perceptions and then identify the opportunities that lie within the obstacle. Lose a deal? Oh well, try a different script. That recruit went somewhere else? Get better at prospecting. iBuyers moving in on your turf? Prove that local personal touch is better. Never let yourself be denied. Action is imperative. It's okay to be frustrated with challenges and obstacles, but you have to take stock, vent, go for a run, or do what you got to do, and then get to work. Paralysis by fear is a real thing. I'd be lying if I sat here and told you I never got a little nervous or had call reluctance. It happens. But that is where the discipline comes in. Once you start attacking an obstacle, quitting is not an option. Abandoning one path for another, sure, but that's a far cry from giving up. You know, Albert Einstein called compounding interest the 8th wonder of the world. Why? Because it works. It's a process. The absolute same thing applies to sales, to losing weight, to building wealth. It's still a process. Small things done repeatedly over time equal big things. And when you're leading a team, do it by example. If you see a need, fill a need. Nothing is above you, nothing is beneath you. Focus on the basics, get your hands dirty, and get to work. The goal is important, but there's a series of steps to get there. Embrace the process and enjoy the compounding returns of your efforts. And understand that detractors are going to be everywhere. Get over it. In fact, flip the script and seize the initiative. Use the haters as leverage. Number one, haters are a great motivating force. Every time I heard someone say that we were going to fail, it fired me up to work even harder. Number two, let the haters expose themselves for who they are. Always take the high road. I loved it when we recruited a big producer and his employer could only talk about how bad we were and not why he should stay. True colors get exposed. Sell yourself. You see, you can develop a plan, you can identify the opportunities, and you can take action. You can think clearly and keep your head, but you cannot control everything. Individually, you cannot control a recession or global pandemic. Some things will impact your business that will result in certain failures, and you know what you tried. And if something doesn't work, you can simply use it to learn. After all, it didn't kill you. You still have your wits, and now you've added another layer of scar tissue to only make you stronger. And then there's will, which is our internal power, which can never be affected by the outside world. It's like running your first half marathon at the age of 41. It's not easy or fun at the time, but there's a huge reward for powering through. Consider tough times in your industry, even recently. And then leadership requires determination or will and energy, and certain times call on leaders to harness that determined energy into sheer will to carry the team and inspire others. Life is unpredictable, and your will is what prepares you for it and gets you through it. Get organized, get focused, and keep your eyes on the prize. It's simple to say, it's just not easy to do, but it is doable. And as long as you understand that curveballs will get thrown at you, then you can anticipate. Your plan or the way things turn are rarely resemble each other. So try to prepare for the unthinkable. It doesn't mean you could predict the future. It just means you'll be ready to make concessions for the world around you, and they won't hurt as much. Regardless of the outcome or circumstance that present themselves, love every moment. For in each setback, there is a learning opportunity. And in order to do great things, you have to endure. And sometimes you will simply have to start over. I cannot even begin to tell you how many times or projects I've had that have failed that I've had to simply start over. The bottom line is this: when you face adversity, you can cry about it or love it and learn from it. And if you're planning on being more successful in this year than despite last year with the challenges surrounding you, then you must persist and persevere. Being a leader, increasing your sales, building a company, or any other type of personal growth is not easy, and it's definitely not about luck. It's turning every challenge into an opportunity. It's turning every failure into a lesson. So I challenge everyone to read the book, The Obstacle is the Way. That is, if you're looking for growth and success. Just as this little mortgage company did, that people said would fail, is well on its way to originating $1 billion worth of loans this year. And that's it.
John, that's awesome. I continue to be impressed with your growth stats and statistics. As someone who's owned a business for 12 years, and I'm in 2 markets, the way you've grown your company in such a short amount of time, I stand in awe and appreciate what you have to share and teach me as for that. I do want to give a little fact check, though. We are not behind on time. The program was designed to run till 11, as we advertise and our audience knows. So no fear there. And actually, it looks like we're ahead of schedule. So good news on that front. Okay, our second to last presenter, Mike Seifert, is the president of the Lookout Group. He has been developing master plan communities in Central Texas for the last 15 years. With the formal education in civil engineering from the United States Air Force Academy, Mike is the perfect person to educate us on WCID, which is Water Control and Improvement District. I love that we're getting technical in this presentation. Together, we will learn the primary purpose and benefits of the WCID. Mike brings firsthand knowledge as a resident of Crystal Falls, the community where the Lookout Group was developed. So Mike Seifert, welcome to our program. And I don't even know if it's like WICKED or WCID, so if I mispronounce it, perfect time to correct me.
You pick, it's up to you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, all good. Go ahead and start it. Wrong presentation.
We're getting there.
Okay, no problem.
In the meantime, is that Esperanza behind you?
That sure is. Here is our lovely resort pool.
Uh-huh. Here we go.
Okay, we are the owners and developers of Esperanza, a master plan community in Bernie. Esperanza is located within Kendall County Water Control and Improvement District 2A. Quite frequently, we get questions from buyers and agents. What is a district? Why do you use them? How do they work? So I really appreciate the opportunity to come speak to this group and hopefully give you guys a general overview about districts and why we use them and what they are and generally how they work to serve your clients better. Here are my awesome daughters. As you can see, the little Texas guy is picking on the California guy. Most of you guys have seen this firsthand. The mass exodus from California to Texas, mainly driven by the extremely high housing costs in California. Compared to Texas, relatively affordable, highly amenitized communities with relatively affordable housing. Hopefully by the end of this presentation, I've been able to explain to you the role that districts play in this dynamic. Here's a brief snapshot of our amenity package at Esperanza. People ask me all the time, how in the world can you guys deliver homes in the low 300,000s with a $25 million amenity package, donating 20 acres to the school, leaving 350 acres of open space to the community? How can you do that and still develop a viable project? The answer is the district. The district, by helping finance the public infrastructure, allows the developer to go over the top on the amenities. What is a district? A district is a highly regulated, independent political subdivision regulated by state law, mainly the TCEQ. The Esperanza District was created during the 2007 state legislature session. All actions taken by the district are voted on by publicly elected board of directors. The district is used to finance public infrastructure such as water, sewer, roads, and drainage. Districts are very common throughout the state of Texas. Maybe not in San Antonio just yet, but there are over 2,500 districts throughout the state, mainly concentrated in Houston, DFW, and Austin right now. But we believe strongly that as San Antonio continues to develop and continues to grow, districts will be more and more common. There's only about 20 of them. They were first allowed in the 1900s, but they became prolific in the 70s, and we believe they're going to be more and more common in the area. Why do we use them? In 2020, the market rate for land, construction costs, material costs, labor, city requirements, county requirements makes developing property nearly impossible to pencil out. Districts allow us to develop property that otherwise would have been undevelopable. Not only does it allow us to develop property that would have been undevelopable, it also allows us to develop that property to the highest level possible and the best quality imaginable. Well, there's my boy, there's baby Mike. How does baby Mike get to big Mike? How does baby Mike turn his raw, undeveloped land into a thriving, vibrant master plan community with an amenity package that wins all these industry awards? The answer is the district. The district helps bridge that gap for the developer. By financing the public infrastructure, it allows the developer to deliver that wow factor in the community that the buyers demand. We bought the property in 2013. As developers, we made major investments in infrastructure. The builders began to sell houses and build houses, which creates the assessed value of the tax base. Only after you get enough houses built and a high enough tax base is the district able to issue bonds and reimburse the developer for that public infrastructure that the developer's already paid for. So over time, we'll get more houses, more tax base, and the district will slowly, as you can see, reimburse us for our costs. An important point to note for your clients: the builder salespeople are required to give your clients a notice to purchaser at 2 points in the sales process, at the contract signing and also at the closing. That notice to purchaser includes some very important information for your clients. It includes information about the tax rate, the bond amount allowable to be issued, and the amount of bonds that have been issued to date. So the next time you're with your clients in a sales office, make sure that builder salesperson is giving your clients that notice to purchaser. So let's compare a plain, dry city community on the left with the city tax and a fully loaded, fully stuffed district community like Esperanza on the right. The city burger has a city tax. The district community has a district tax in lieu of the tax rate. One important thing to note: the district rate is deductible on federal income tax. So what the district allows, by helping finance that public infrastructure, it allows us as the developer to shove that burger full of toppings, put everything on it imaginable, so much that that buyer can barely get it in their mouth. Compare that to the city community, where the developer, just because of the high cost of development, is cutting corners at every turn and skimping on the amenities and skimping on the entryways and just eking it out because they can't afford to do it. These are not stock images. These are actual facilities that you can go and see today of Esperanza, including our 11-acre amenity center, splash pad, Roca Loca event lawn, 24-hour fitness center. Because of these amenities, we were recently awarded the best upscale single-family housing development by the San Antonio Business Journal. We would not have been able to deliver this level and this quality amenity package without the help of the district. So more of our toppings, our resort pool, our kids splash pad. We're planning on dedicating 350 acres of open space to the community. Let that sink in. That's $14 million of raw land that we are taking and setting aside for the benefit of our residents to use as open space. We would not have been able to do that without the district. In addition, we also have fiber to every single home in this ever-changing work-from-home environment, fiber to every home. We were also able to more sustainably develop the community than we would have with the district. We are piping reclaimed water to every single home in Esperanza. What that means is the city's sending us treated wastewater, and we are piping that so that every single home has a reclaimed irrigation meter on the lot where they can irrigate that lawn with that reused water. We're very proud of it, but it's extremely expensive, and we would not have been able to do that without the district. So summing up, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to this group. Hopefully you guys can understand why a little bit better, why Texas is still better than California, and maybe understand WCID's, at least the general what's and whys to help serve your clients. I think the big idea, though, is that the district helps finance that public infrastructure so that the developer can really blow the amenity package out and deliver those wow communities that your buyer wants. Thank you.
Awesome presentation. I think my favorite slide of the entire morning is Mike's timeline of from the kid to him aging. What a great representation of what you were showing, and what a super tactical and relevant presentation for our audience of agents. So thank you, Mike and Esperanza. Okay, measuring for success. Sean Sexton has a doctorate. What? Doctorate in international business and management and minor in statistics. Clearly, this is why Sean is talking to us about key performance indicators and measuring our business. He knows his stuff, and I need to learn from him. He has published several academic articles in top A-rated journals. He's taught college-level courses. He's presented at numerous academic conferences around the country on KPIs, or key performance indicators. So in just a minute, Sean's going to bring light to the ways KPIs can help us manage business targets and goals. Sean, you are our grand finale today, and I'm excited. So I'm turning it over to you from the beautiful shores of Jamaica. I don't know. Look forward to hearing from you. So take it away, friend.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and get the slide started. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit today about the key performance indicators and what they are and why they really matter to you. Everyone here can probably name a goal or their why or all the big things that they do and get up for in the morning. KPIs are that roadmap to get you there. When you look at your KPIs in your business, so whether it's on a morning, weekly, monthly level, those should be the indicators of how successful you are and current to getting towards your end goal. The number one thing I can come up with when it comes to KPIs that I love to just kind of drive home to people is you have to know your numbers to know your business. If you don't know what your day-to-day looks like, your week-to-week or your month-to-month, and what your daily activities need to be for you to get to where you want to go, you really are kind of spinning your wheels. How do you know what you're actually doing, and how do you know if it's measurable for success? Are your goals being met? And can they be met any quicker than what you're actually doing? When you look at KPIs at a most basic level, you have inputs that result to outputs. All of those are going to be centered around some kind of activity, whether it's daily calls, whether it's marketing campaigns, whether it's lead source generation, whatever that may be, you are going to have a daily input that's ideally measurable, that's going to give you some type of end goal accountability method that you can actually measure. From there, with your KPIs, you have to identify the mechanism that you're going to use to actually chart those KPIs. There's two primary ones. You have a system-based one where it's, computer generated through some type of CRM source. Then there's the mechanism that's actually controlled by you, a human interaction. So could be some formulas driven through an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. And then from there, you develop the controls around that to make sure that you're staying on task. And then you allocate the amount of time that you need to achieve those KPIs, whether it's a daily or weekly item. From there, it's really important for you to identify how you're going to quantify your KPIs, whether they're quantitative or qualitative metrics. Quantitative typically are going to be your averages. So, in the real estate world, what's your average sales price? And then qualitative is more perception-based. Think of new client surveys, what they think about your service. And then have a review system in place. When are you going to review these and when are you going to make your corrective actions? From there, you will then develop what we call the outcome trail. You're going to have weeks and months and years of data, hopefully, that will show you where the peaks and valleys of your business are. Those KPIs can really help you straight line that or seamlessly take out the bumps in the road, so to speak, of your business process by adding activities or adding different things during those valleys, and then also taking things off when you're going to hit your peaks. Those then come into where we have our lead and lag measures. Where are the starts and where are the finishes? To have those, you have to have your business process drawn out completely. You need to know what your day-to-day looks like. You need to know what the requirements of each of those day-to-day processes are in your business, into some type of structural tension chart or something that's going to say, okay, every day I'm going through steps A, B, and C. This is how I complete those steps. The caveat and the bonus of that is those become items that you can delegate down, freeing up more time in your day. When we are looking at your KPIs, it's very important for you to keep them simple. You can get very elaborate with KPIs, but you really want to make sure that you're doing something that you can measure, something you can explain, and something that's easily reachable for you. When you do that, the variance management becomes super easy. Those peaks and valleys then become more so able to become flat and squished down. That way you have more stable months as you go throughout your year. Real estate KPIs have four primary ones that a lot of people look at. The first one, obviously, is number of calls made. How many times are you getting on that phone to get in front of a client? And that could vary. It's not necessarily picking up the phone and calling people. It could be text messages. It could be anything related to direct communication with that client. And then client feedback ratings. You can implement something as simple as a survey, at closing, using Net Promoter Scores, SurveyMonkey. There's a ton of things out there that can help you get those back from your clients. Another great one is networking goals. How many people are you going to go out and try to get in front of to help build up your business, to add in the types of sphere people that you need? And then you can kind of translate that over to individual marketing activities. Is that you are, mining Zillow leads? Are you using Facebook or Instagram, or your stories, really, are your marketing activities really pushing you in the level of your end goal? Now, once you have an idea what the KPIs are and what you actually want to use, the big piece that you want is to have your CRM. How are you actually going to measure that on a day-to-day so you can see it, feel it, and live it? I personally use Salesforce. It's a great tool. It gives me all my day-to-day stuff that I can see. You don't necessarily need to spend money to chart your KPIs. Excel works great. A tablet and pencil. The idea is you want to chart it, you want to measure it, and be consistent no matter what you're actually using. A ton of other ones just get developed on the day-to-day. I Googled it right before this presentation. I think I saw 40 different CRMs now for KPI. Boomtown, Boston Logic, all those guys out there, they're all going to do pretty much the same thing. They all have a little caveat at the end that you want to pay attention to. If you're a large team, you may want to go to a larger production. If you're a single proprietor that's working through your business, you may then go with something a little more rudimentary like Excel or something like that. The idea is to get something though. Of KPIs, I mentioned 4. There's hundreds and hundreds of them. There's 2 great books though that I really, really recommend to people in the real estate industry. The first one is the KPI Dictionary. It not only gives you the KPIs, but it also gives you ways to measure them at a very, very simple level. That's probably my favorite book that's out there on the subject. And then you also have key performance indicators for real estate. Great if you're on the operational side of things, managing the infrastructure and things like that. Want to go ahead and just give out my cell phone number there. That's my direct number to me, as well as my email. If you guys have any questions or comments on the KPIs or how maybe you can implement them in your day-to-day business, very open and willing to share any information I have. It's kind of a passion in what I do on the side outside of insurance. So feel free to shoot me an email and I can definitely help you get pointed in the right direction for whatever it is that you're looking for. And in the end of it, to sum it up, your KPIs are your roadmap. The better your KPIs, the more you manage those, the quicker your road to your goal. Really pay attention to them. Use them on the day-to-day if you can, week to week, and then month to month. Thanks, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week and enjoy your summer.
Sean, to you and to all of our partners, thank y'all so much again for the time that you put into preparing your thoughtful presentations. Thank you for the information you shared with our audience. And last but not least, to our audience, thank you so much for taking an interest in this kind of programming. I love the efficiency of this format. I love the wealth of information that we just got in an hour and a half. And I just appreciate your willingness to participate in this. So I'm wishing everybody a wonderful Thursday, a great weekend ahead of us. And we look forward to seeing you, whether it's offline or online, very soon. So in the meantime, everyone, take care and we'll be back later. So thank y'all.